Patrice walked to one of my vitrines and stared through its glass at my novels. I had unpacked hundreds of books and DVDs before I had unpacked any of my clothing. I still had some clothing in the living room across dining room chairs. Patrice looked at those and nodded. She said, "Versace, Ferragamo, Carlo Milano, you have good taste." She strolled into my kitchen and looked at the GNC bottles I had on the counter. Arginine 5000, Force Factor Ramp Up, Nitro Muscle Mass, and Mojo Blast. 8-hour sex. She smiled, picked up the Rock Hard Weekend, and read the package. All Natural, works in 30 minutes, the 72-hour sexual performance enhancer for men. She said that her husband couldn't please her the way she needed to be pleased. I didn't say anything. Then she corrected herself and shook her head, gritted her teeth, and said that her diabetic husband didn't please her the way that she deserved to be pleased. She looked at me, checked me for a reaction. I offered her a small smile. She grinned. "I don't have a lot of time." "To work out?" "No, I don't have a lot of time to get my cardio in, but other than that, I'm very business-minded. I like to get to the point. Do you mind if I show you something?" "Sure." With that, she stepped away and went inside the bathroom. In that moment, flashes of Johnny Handsome being inside my wife corrupted my smile. Mrs. Patrice Evans came back out naked. After I adjusted to the surprise, I said, "It looks like your clothes fell off." "A lot of gravity in your bathroom. Pulled everything right off me." I evaluated her and nodded. "You've kept yourself in shape." "Basketball and track and tennis, so yes or no?" Revenge. The need for revenge grabbed me, squeezed my heart until it wanted to burst. I said, "Yes." Mrs. Patrice Evans came to me and we kissed. She sucked my tongue as if it were her vagina tightened around my penis, sucked and pulled at my clothing, took off my t-shirt. She took my hand and hurried me into my bedroom, led me as if I were inside her home. She said, "I'm not big on chit-chatting. Actually, chit-chatting bores me to tears." I rubbed her breasts, her belly, and her shoulders. Her skin was beautiful, its texture smooth. She was not as stunning as Regina Baptiste, but her body, the skin and flesh that people judged as being more beautiful than the eternal soul that the aging tissue housed, was nice. I pulled the bedspread back and she hopped on the bed. I crawled in with her and she kissed me again, kissed me and pulled me to her as she opened her legs for me. She whispered, "You're bigger than I had expected." She held on to my erection and moved it back and forth across her vagina as we kissed, moved it back and forth, then began to work me inside. She was tight. I wanted to hurt her. I wanted to hurt her good. But she hadn't done me any wrong. She hadn't betrayed me. I whispered, "Relax. My husband is bigger than you, but you're a lot bigger than my husband. Slow your breathing down." "Okay." "I'm not going to put it all in." "I would hope not. That's a hell of a coochie stretcher you have." She moaned and held onto my back, her nails raking my skin. I sank inside her a little more, just beyond the hat. She made a face like she was in severe pain. The same face Johnny Handsome had made. I paused right there. Held it right there until she nodded for me to continue. I worked her slowly. Worked her until she opened up, and worked her until most of me fit inside her. I put a hand around her neck and slid all of me inside of her. Her eyes and mouth widened. I took her the same way Johnny Handsome had taken my wife. I relived that scene in my angered mind. I made her crazy. I made her scream. I called Patrice a whore. I called her a slut. I called her all the things that I'd called my wife when I had left a message on her cellular. Again, her eyes opened wide, then rolled back in her head. We fornicated in the shadows of Odysseus, had sex in the breath of Prometheus, fucked in the presence of all of the mighty adulterers and sinners. I didn't care anymore. Outrage possessed me. I moved like I was trying to force this umbrage out of my body. She looked in my eyes and I went deeper, stroked her faster and harder.